Hey everyone, let's talk gallstones today. I figured I'd make a video because I'm actually 1 week out from surgery. So I wanted to tell the tale of what exactly has happened and what's gonna happen next. All right, guys, so for some of you that don't know me, my name is Lore Ray. I am the host of the Wellness of Madness podcast. I am also a health coach, a personal trainer, and a nutritionist, and I work in the Warrior Room online. I am also a behavior change specialist, and I am diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, general anxiety disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder. Wellness is my game. That's what I do. And I've had somewhat of an insane year. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. So the pain of gallstones. First of all, I have never ever had any other issues that involved surgery or anything before. So this will be my first surgery. So it all kind of started about, I want to say maybe 2018. I started having some acid reflux. And it was very, very weird because I'd never had it before, even though my diet was pretty good because I was in school for nutrition. I still, sometimes ate things I wasn't supposed to eat or a little bit of high fat. And yeah, I would get the acid reflux. So at that time, I was working as a barista. And every time I have coffee, I would get the acid reflux, and I would also get like this feeling of something stuck in your throat. So I ended up going to the doctor in 2018, and she was like, well, you have generalized anxiety. It could be anxiety that you're feeling, which totally made sense. And she also gave me Prilosec, which is something for acid reflux. So I took it, went away. I was like, maybe it's totally anxiety. If I'm chill, it's fine. Went away for about like 3 months, I would say. And then again, I started kind of having those issues, but then I would just watch my diet, make sure I didn't have things that were super saturated in fat or anything that was overly spicy. I am Mexican, so I eat a lot of citrus and spice, which was really tough to to control. But yes, it would come back here and there. No pain thus far, but in 2019, I started getting this pretty gnarly shoulder pain. At that time, I thought it was due to my Tourette's because I've had a tic where I whiplash my head back and forth, and I do that about 50 times a day or more, and I've had that tic for about 3 years now. So back then I had it for about a year and a half already. So I was like, well, it's definitely that. I thought that I had maybe a slight tear on my trap or my rhomboid or something back there that had a small tear. So 2019 kept going on. It was a great year. I became certified. I started working at a gym. I started working my career. Just fantastic. 2020 hit. And I know it was not easy for anybody. What a transitional year. So January starts off great. February, I have a loss in my family, and I had my first experience with a ruptured cyst. At that point, I really thought that was the worst pain I had ever experienced. That's going to be for another video about ovarian cysts. But yeah, I had a ruptured ovarian cyst, which was extremely painful. Then comes March, and I have a second loss in my family, my grandmother, and it was very devastating, and I suffered another ruptured cyst. So by that time, I'm going to the doctor to figure out what's happening down here, right? And I was diagnosed with a dermoid cyst on my left ovary, which was also causing a lot of extra pain and just weirdness and bloating and gas. So the year goes by. I am experiencing, like I said, bloat and gas and just a pain here and there. And I'm thinking it's all due to the cyst. It's also due to everything that's going on. During this time, April, we start our own business, Coaches and I, which is the Warrior Room. And, we're busy and we're hustling and we're getting there. All this COVID thing is, prime time. So I also think that a lot of stress is happening. The losses in my family has just been pretty gnarly, right? So August 29th, 2020. I am just having those days where you're like, you know what? I really want to eat something I like, something I want to eat. I want a burger. I want to make my soul feel good. And yay, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Sometimes you got to make your soul feel good with a little yummy comfort food, okay? So I decided, okay, let's go get a burger. Hey, I've never had a Whopper from Burger King. I've never till this day had a Whopper from Burger King. And I decide, let's get a Whopper. So we go, my fiance and I go get a Whopper, come back home. I didn't even get fries. I just got the Whopper. I took about maybe 6 fries from my mom, ate my food, like nothing, went to sleep. 2 in the morning. I'll never forget it. because it really was the worst pain. I thought by then the ruptured cyst was the worst pain. So this pain woke me up, and it just feels horrible getting waken up with pain. So I wake up and I realize that I can't breathe. Every time I inhale, there's just severe pain in my chest. Every time I exhale, there's severe pain in my chest. And it's right here, right on the top, right in the middle part of the chest, right? And it kind of radiates a little bit to the right upper quadrant. And I could even feel it in my back. Like that shoulder pain is just worse. And I'm thinking, man, maybe I twitched and the tear got worse. Maybe I, did something. By the way, about 6 days prior to that, I went to the doctor and she's like, oh, you know what? It is probably a tear, the pain that you're feeling. Here's some muscle relaxants. That's all they gave me. I was like, okay. I don't even think I took it. So back to 2 a.m, feel that pain. I get up, I tell my mom, I tell my fiance, I'm like, man, I don't feel good. Like I can't breathe, but I tried to just stay. I'm like, it must be my shreds. I felt weird pains before. It must be a tear and it might just be coming through the chest, right? So hours go by. Now it's 5 a.m. I still have pain. It hasn't gotten any better. It's time to go to the ER. So I go to the ER, to the hospital where I was treating my cyst, which is a women's clinic. And obviously I should have thought that before. As soon as I get there, because I was going to have surgery for my cyst on September 8th. So I'm thinking as if I feel any pain, I go there because it might be the cyst, even though I know it has nothing to do with your upper quadrant. But I went there anyway. As soon as they saw me, they're like, you know what? If it's RUQ, which is right upper quadrant, or anything else, could be your gallbladder, so we can't help you here. So I go to a medical regional ER. As soon as I get there, you know the deal, the whole COVID deal, having to wait. No one can come in there with me. I'm definitely in pain. Finally, the doctor sees me. They take me to the back and he just lays me down and he presses in my stomach, which I think is the Murphy's test. And he's like, pain here, pain here. It was painful when he's, pressed it, but it wasn't terrible. So I was like, no. And immediately he's like, could be your gallbladder. Let's go get an ultrasound. Awesome. I got an ultrasound within an hour. Out of the ultrasound, and they go, yep, you got gallstones. I was so bummed out because I was about to get surgery a week out for my cyst. Didn't want to have to deal with another thing, but I definitely fit the stereotype, or not the stereotype, but the diagnosis. If you're a female, if you're Mexican or Hispanic, and if you're in your 40s, even though I'm in my 30s, I am female, I am Mexican, and my mom had her gallbladder removed at 23. So genes, it all made sense. Even though my diet had never been very terrible, and I was now a nutritionist and my diet was super clean for the last 2 years, genetics play a big role. So I go home and I'm like, all right, I gotta get to work. Luckily, through my education on nutrition, I did learn about gallstones and gallbladder diet, and I knew that I immediately had to go into a very low fat diet. So even though I knew, I still made an appointment with my dietitian right away, because a good coach always seeks another coach's advice. And we planned around a very low fat diet and just kind of testing where I would get pain. So I started with about 20 grams of fat per day. And I quickly realized that that wasn't going to work for me, that I needed to go back a little bit lower because I would still feel some pain. So I ended up on between 11 to 13 grams of fat, which is not very much at all. So on August 30th, when I was in the ER, I weighed 132 pounds. As of today, I'm 115. So I've lost a lot. And that low fat diet has been tough. It's very tough to play with your diet when you want to get enough calories and you still have to not get that much fat. So what started happening is that I was only getting about 800 calories, 900 calories. And I've had to get very creative to be able to get to 1300 calories. And that is the most I have been able to have. So of course, what I had to do was cut my expenditure. Even though I'm still walking because movement is so important and so is exercise, I'm not exercising and I'm not walking too much. So I don't expend 2,000, 2,500 calories and only consume 1,300. So I've been having to play with that, which has been tough. Luckily, I'm blessed. I'm very lucky that I can just get the foods that I need. I know it could be a lot worse for people that can't. So I count my blessings. There are plenty of pregnant women that end up having to get their gallbladder removed and they're pregnant. And I cannot imagine how tough it is. You guys know that I don't have any children. So luckily that's also not a factor. So again, I'm really, really blessed, but it is tough. So pain management. The pain has been difficult because the cysts have been causing a lot of pain as well. And then the gallbladder is causing a lot of pain. And I am not big on painkillers. I want to protect my stomach. I don't know if I could have possible gastritis, or maybe it's just the cyst and the gallbladder, but my stomach has been very delicate with digestion, with everything. So far I have not taken any pain pills. I took some pain pills after the ER, and then maybe 2 or 3 other times during the months, but that's about it. So everything was running smoothly in August. I was trying to manage everything. And then right about on the month, September 1st, I had another attack. I woke up and I felt just a horrible pain on my right side this time. And it felt like a giant bubble that just wants to like burst. You know, it's such a weird feeling. It's such a horrible feeling, but same thing. I realized really quickly, you know what? I'm not going to wait. Let's go to the ER. So I got taken to the ER. And by the way, I'm with Kaiser. Which has been amazing. I went back to the ER and spent all night there. They gave me medication for nausea, which I was having. And they gave me some pain medication, even though I didn't want it. I was like, you know what? There was a moment where it's like, just give it to me. And that did work very well. I left the ER around 6 in the morning. And I was like, man, at this point, no matter what foods I knew didn't trigger attacks, could trigger attacks at any point. And every single person's different, by the way. Every single person's different. The main reason I'm doing this video is because when I was going through all of this, I was looking for any help I could. So YouTube videos, Instagram, anyone that had these issues, I wanted to hear their story. And one thing is that, yes, maybe I can eat an English muffin and it triggers you. Maybe you can eat pasta and I can't because it triggers me. So it's very, very difficult to know what triggers you. So September was tough, getting really frustrated with food and not really knowing what I could and couldn't eat. But finally, I was told that I could have gallbladder surgery on the 29th of October. I had to cancel my surgery for the cyst because I was having all these gallbladder issues. So during that time in August, they also told me, well, let's come in, let's see the cyst if it has gotten better or not. Unfortunately, it hadn't. My cyst grew and it was now 6 centimeters. So like, we're going to have to do a surgery for that too. So now they give me a surgery for October 29th. And I'm like, you know what? Let's make it work. Let's do it together. I really wanted to do it together because I never had surgery and I wanted to have one recovery if possible. I have my own business. I'm a trainer. I am now a yoga instructor as well. So I didn't want to be off work for so long, and I'm a go-getter. I do not like to sit around. It's really tough. So luckily, they were my wonderful gynecologist and my wonderful surgeon were able to figure out their schedules. They canceled my 29th of October surgery and they gave me a date for 23rd of November for both procedures. So super blessed, super excited. I am having my surgery this upcoming Monday, which is the 23rd. It will be a co-procedure. I don't know who's going first, but the gallbladder surgery should be about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And the cyst surgery is about an hour long. So I expect to be under for an hour and a half to 2 hours, hopefully, if everything goes well, which it should with good vibes and prayers. So yeah, this will be my first surgery. It has been tough. Right now, what's getting really hard is that I'm eating the same foods every single day. And it's just, my palate's just not taking it in anymore. You know, even though food is for nurturing purposes, it's really hard to eat it when you can't or don't want it anymore. So it's getting really difficult again to get to the 1,300 calories. I've had pretty good days. Yesterday was a very tough day. I woke up with a ton of pain right in the middle of my belly button. Then I had gallbladder pain at night, which I'm just heat packs. So that's another thing. How I've managed my pain has been strictly with heat pads, acupressure mat that has really relieved a lot of back pain. And I also use it in the front for my tummy and I use it on my legs, and breathing exercises, a lot of pranayama, and just a lot of good vibes and cleansing and hot baths. So I'm trying to do it as holistic as possible, and it's working so far. It's tough for anyone else experiencing it. It's just about patience. It really is huge about diet and about getting your doctors to get the diagnosis right away, right? I hear a lot of people who are like, I've been waiting a year. I've had colonoscopies. I've had these kinds of tests and nothing. Get yourself an ultrasound. Make sure that you trust yourself. When you know there's something wrong with your body, you know there's something wrong with your body. So go. Even if I go to the doctor with a 15 to 20 question spread. Okay. And that's the thing. It's not the doctor's fault. It's Western medicine is very different. So you don't go in expecting that they're just going to help you out and figure it all out, because they're also not magicians. They're not into divination. They don't understand what's happening with you. So make sure you scan your body. Every time I go to the doctor now, I scan from my toes all the way to my head. Is there any pain? Where is it? What kind of pain is it? What do I want done? Even if they tell you, you know what, you don't need an ultrasound. I want an ultrasound. You got to make sure to push, 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 push. So that was the gallstone story. It definitely has been a struggle. This tiny little organ that sits right by your liver is just a bugger. It definitely messes you up. So I hope anyone else listening, I hope it was helpful. If you guys do want a video about my diet plan and my nutrition, let me know, and I will make a separate video explaining all of my meals and what I eat and why I eat those meals, and or anything else. Any comments, just drop them below. Any questions, drop them below. Any concerns or any other videos that you would like. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be making another one of these videos in Spanish, and I will also be making another video all about the ovarian cysts and how it all comes in together. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for sitting around for 16 minutes to hear me talk. And yeah, man, if I'm cool and you like me, well then follow me, subscribe, do all that crap. All right. Have a great day, guys.